So in this video, I would like to point out someone else I suspect is a leftist conspirator, and that is Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And the reason I think that is because of the dissent she wrote regarding the Supreme Court case for Jack Phillips, the Christian baker who refused to bake a same-sex wedding cake. She says, Phillips declined to make a cake he found offensive where the offensiveness of the product was determined solely by the identity of the customer requesting it. So first of all, Phillips offered them other products. To say that the offensiveness of the product was determined solely by the identity of the customer requesting it, quote-unquote, would be to say that simple brownies or a birthday cake, which are examples of some of the things he offered them, would be offensive too. And of course, that's ridiculous. She is purposefully stretching the truth or misportraying the truth to paint Phillips as the bad guy, and I'm pretty sure she's doing it knowing full well of it. Even if I'm wrong about that, she's assuming the worst about Phillips. Either way, she's in the wrong. She also says, the fact that Phillips might sell other cakes and cookies to gay and lesbian customers was irrelevant to the issue Craig and Mullen's case presented. What matters is that Phillips would not provide a good or service to a same-sex couple that he would provide to a heterosexual couple. So hypothetically speaking, if a straight couple came into his bakery asking for a same-sex wedding cake, my guess is he'd refuse. Also, hypothetically speaking, if a gay couple walked in asking for a straight wedding cake, my guess is he'd say sure. But she's playing off the victim mentality that these leftist conspirators have created in this country to paint this as discrimination. It's not. It's based on an action, not identity. Phillips is refusing to support an action. He's not demeaning the identity of Craig and Mullins in any way. And I'll admit that when I first read that second statement, I actually fell for it. And I learned something from that, and that is, if God does not determine your ethics, somebody else will. I mean, and whether you believe in him or not. Because up through the early 2000s, and it might even somewhat still be the case today, the Christian ethics were the accepted more social standards. And another way to put it would be, to quote my friend from the Coast Guard Auxiliary, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. And I see a lot of people in their early 20s who are just plain apathetic. As long as they have food on the table and a roof over their head, they don't care. And it's facilitating this leftist conspiracy, and it'll also fuel any facilitate any conspiracy on the right as well. So, I'd like to say to all the apathetics out there, stand up. Stand up for your freedoms. Stand up for morality. Stand up for the family. We can heal the divide in this country. We can end this cultural civil war. And if we don't, this will end potentially in full-out civil war. But besides that, again, if God does not determine your ethics, somebody else will, whether you believe in him or not. And I personally would rather have my ethics determined by God than Justice Bader Ginsburg, whether I believed in God or not. Because God cares about me. Justice Bader Ginsburg cares about an agenda.